It's a dwarf beard. I don't know how to segue into this. It's just a beard. Welcome to another video, and as you should know, it is almost Halloween, and for this special day we are going to show you how to print a beard. Because not everyone can grow a beard. Nobody's perfect. Okay, some background. So this year I really wanted a big, bushy, messy beard for my costume. It doesn't have to be super realistic, just really bushy. But everything I could find online was just sort of crap. So I gave up and thought to myself, well, why can't I just design one and print one? My intended costume this year was Forrest Gump running with that big, bushy beard. However, I thought, well, we can be a lot more versatile with our beard, and if we're going for the Forrest Gump costume, then it's just sort of a big, bushy, spaghetti mess. I think we can do better. So I'm a dwarf now. I have the twinkiest sword. I'm a dwarf. I need to print an actual axe. This is awful. This couldn't have been possible without one of the greatest designs in 3D printing history. I speak, of course, of the hairy lion. This broke the community a little bit when it was released. Everyone was printing them. And of course they should. It is a genius design. It's just lots of tiny bridging parts that you use a hairdryer with, and it turns into this thick, curly mane. Awesome design. So I did the exact same. Each hair of this beard is just a bridging part that stretches from a base to an exterior frame, and you can use a hairdryer or a heat gun to curl it up and make it look like a nice beard. And this is more versatile than you might think, because the trick isn't so much the model, but it's the process of grooming it after printing. In fact, I can just use the same design and have a variety of beards or mustaches. The mustaches more so, actually. It's a lot of fun to make these. I would probably just use standard PLA for this. Matte PLA would look better because there's less sheen, but it's more brittle than regular PLA. So because the bridging parts that we are printing are well under a millimeter in thickness, we kind of do need a bit of strength. I guess you could use PETG or ABS for this, but with these tiny bridging parts, I don't think it would make much of a difference. So here is how you become a dwarf. You print your piece, and as you can see, it's literally just those bridging parts between two walls. One wall is sloped so you can get some layering with your hair. You can scale this if you want. We want those hairs to be thin, but not too thin, otherwise the slicer might not recognize them. Additionally, the smaller the hairs are, then the weaker their connection will be to the wall. Nothing special needs to be done here. We're actually using a K1 with a 0.4mm nozzle to print these. You do need to print several of these for a full beard though, but it's not a long print. One note though, if you are using a K1 type printer with a side fan, turn that off because it just blows the bridging parts into the center. Once you remove the slope wall, either rip it out like me or be careful and use a scissors, then you can get your hairdryer, or in our case a heat gun, and heat up those hairs. You want to be really gentle here though. We just need to warm them so they're softer. We don't want to melt them together. And just warm them until they go a little bit limp, and be careful to apply even heating throughout the model. Once they're warm, you can bend them near the wall. This is so the hairs will be pointed in a downward direction. You can then scrunch up the short part a bit so they obscure the remaining wall, so it is not visible when you're wearing it. Then you can warm them up some more and make some chaos. After all, what is a good beard but tamed chaos? In the case of the mustache, mold the hairs however you want them, whether you want a handlebar, Van Dyke, or Imperial style. To get the style perfect, you might need to do some snippety snip. Same goes for the beard. Be creative. Go full bushy beard, more hipster style, or something in between. Or straight up dwarf like me. If you're like me and neglect your Halloween costume until the last moment, maybe you could do something like this. You have 14 days. Get to work. If you guys have any questions or comments, you can let us know down below. You can also join us on our Discord server where we can talk further about beards. You can also find the link to the STL and the link to the filament used in the description below. Happy Halloween. We'll talk to you next time. Later.